Hello, welcome back to our platform, guys. If you're new, please just consider subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so that in case we do upload any story, will be the first one to view. My people, here in Africa, we used to pray to have those people who can spread the message of freedom here in Africa, who can spread the message that can get all the leaders here in Africa to have a freedom, to unite and to have a freedom. This is what we usually pray to God, that can give wisdom and can unite all African leaders so that they can come together as one and make African look great. This is a message I want to show you. This is a message I've seen somewhere, and I want to share with you. There's a lady who has decided to be counterpart. Has decided to be in the same group of Ibrahim Traore, because we know most of the time, most of the African people, we know that there is only a man, there is only leader whom we believe that can deliver, whom we believe that can bring this Africa to the place where we are dreaming it to be, who is Ibrahim Traore. There is a lady has talked about on how African can unite and can fight all the leaders, because we see most of the leaders here in Africa, they are begging, they are bowing to the neocolonialism. They are trying to go to neocolonialism so that they can get some of the advices, they can get some of the things that they think that can help them in ruling Africa, instead of them coming together and decide on their own thing, on how they can make African great. This is the message from this lady. Just watch out on how this lady talked about African leaders still believing in neocolonialism.
What do we have as Africa to hold the global north to account? We might think we have nothing, and we feel weak when we ask for compensation for things that were done wrong to us. And while we deal with reparations for the global north and all the colonial masters that did the wrongs that they did to Africa, the continent of Africa, whose families probably are going to forget if we don't bring this history up and deal with it decisively. Have countries been compensated for reparation? Yes. Germany paid reparation to the Holocaust victims, their heirs, and the State of Israel. Germany also paid reparations to Namibia for the Herero-Naima genocide. Well, it's documented that they did. And if they didn't, then I guess we have to look into that as well, because there were discussions, very deep discussions on reparation for Namibia. What I know is that when we feel weak as a continent, we will never be able to get what we deserve, because we are already going to the table as people who are weak. But is Africa weak? Everybody talks about Africa as this continent with all the raw materials that the West wants. They want our minerals, they want our youth, they want our agricultural products, they want a lot. Even right now, when it comes to saving the globe, Africa is seen to be the least in terms of emissions, 4%, and yet it's suffering the biggest brunt when it comes to climate change. So what do we have that can actually bring them to their knees? We have the debt. The debt that they have given us at very high prices, very high interest rates. It's another form of colonialism that I think Africa should sit together and be united on that front. When it comes to our minerals, they cannot run their countries without our minerals. But are we prepared as the continent of Africa? And this is the challenge to the new leadership. Are we prepared to actually sit on the same table, put our differences aside, and recognize that we first need to address the various wars that we have in our continent? We need to silence the guns. DRC, we say it's the breadbasket of Africa. It has the minerals to sustain Africa. But yet, we sit and watch the DRC crumble. We've got the Sudan, okay? And we've got so many other places that we know in Africa. The guns need to be silenced, but not only silenced. We need to come with a unity of purpose, a unity that Africa speaks with one voice, that all the leaders put their differences aside and remember that they are brothers. Irrespective of our religious backgrounds, irrespective of our tribes, irrespective of our gender, we need to come together with one agenda. And what is that one agenda? To make sure that Africa gets the reparation that it needs. And the only way we're going to do that is through unity of purpose. The prosperity of Africa depends on our unity. Are we prepared to be unified as a continent to be able to take what is rightfully ours in terms of reparation? Thank you, Madam.
Yes, that is the leader, that is the lady has shown us that she is ready to fight on Africa. She's ready to assist those leaders who are in Africa, those leaders who are dreaming to have, who are dreaming to make African great. This is the type of lady that we are eagering to see. This is the type of the African leader whom we are eagering to see coming to Africa so that African can look great. You see, most of the leaders here in Africa, whenever you go to those West African, you may find Nigeria. Whenever you go to the south of the Africa, you get the South Africa. Whenever you come to East African, you see where obvious Kenya is the. Those are the leader whom are praising neocolonialism. Those are the leaders that believes in neocolonialism. Everything that is they want to do, they just get advices from the West. So this type of lady, this lady has urged African to unite. They unite. When African unites, African becomes great. When African leaders unite, African become great. And when African unites, all the things that we are in Africa, because you see this, we usually say this thing, I usually talk about this thing, and I will continue talking about it. African is rich. This is the richest continent here in the world. African is the most richest continent in the world. The problem is leaders. The leaders of Africa are the one who are making African to look like is poor. But African, we are great. Let me remind you, in African we have so many things that can make African look like the great, the look the like greatest continent here in the world. Because I usually say it here that in Africa, whenever you are talking about gold, they are coming from Africa. Whenever you're talking about uranium, are coming from Africa. Whenever you're talking about copper, is coming from Africa. And the soil of Africa is good in agricultural sectors. So that's why I usually tells out that Africa is the most grateful country. You've seen how she has talked about the genocide that was happening here in Liberia, because you see Namibia, not sorry, Namibia. You see, I saw there's a video I shared whereby the president of Namibia said that it is a must for the Germany to pay Africa, to pay Namibians for what they lost during genocides of 1904. They are supposed to pay the genocide that was happened there. So it seems these things are just they are still pushing it to see that Africa will be will be at the place where we are thinking, we are the place that we are eagering to be. So guys, this is the message from that lady, and you can drop your comment and tell us that what is your opinion on this comment. What is the opinion on this speech of this lady? Do you believe that African is becoming the greatest continent here in the world? Because we are now seeing some of the people here in Africa are waking up. Some of the leaders in Africa are waking up. Some of the leaders are coming up to be aligned with Ibrahim Traore, because Ibrahim Traore was the man whom we are believing in after they assassinated those leaders whom we believed in before. A leader like Sankara, a leader like Gaddafi, a leader like Pierre Lumumba, Patricia Lumumba. Those are the leaders that were having a dream to make African great. Guys, just drop your comment and let us meet in the next episode.